the king of 9 Mile Pond. In a land known as the Everglades, where water and earth are so intertwined they are almost inseparable, where the morning mist hangs over cypress trees like the spirits of the past, and where the whisper of the wind through sawgrass tells an ancient tale, in this place, a story is shared over hunters' fires and sung to lull children to sleep beneath the stars. A story of a beast larger than life itself, the legend of Croc-zilla. This tale dates back to the time of the Gladesmen, men with hearts tougher than stone. They were the pioneers who lived a raw and wild life, hunting to survive, fishing in the blackwater rivers, and trading with the native Seminole people. Their lives were a test of survival, written in sweat and blood. Among all the Gladesmen, none were more revered than Caleb, an old man whose face was etched with wrinkles as deep as the Everglades waterways. His eyes were a pale blue, but they held the spark of wisdom gleaned from countless brushes with death. Caleb knew the Everglades better than the back of his hand. He could read the tracks of an otter in the mud, tell the direction of the wind from the blades of grass, and easily distinguish the bellow of a male alligator from the roar of a black bear. But there was one thing Caleb rarely spoke of, the memory of his brother, Ethan, who vanished in the murky, tea-colored water of 9 Mile Pond decades ago. No trace of Ethan was ever found, leaving behind only a shattered canoe and the eerie silence of the pond that day. The locals whispered that he was the first victim of the legendary beast, Croc-zilla. Legend had it that Croc-zilla was no ordinary alligator. It was the ancient king of the swamp, a beast of immense size, at least 15 feet long. Its body was covered in scales as thick as ancient, moss-covered stone slabs. Its amber eyes held a terrifying glimmer of intelligence. It moved through the water as silently as a ghost, and it was said to be the guardian spirit of the Everglades, appearing to punish those who were greedy and disrespectful of the wilderness. One day, a young stranger named Jack arrived at the small community by the swamp. He was a hunter from the big city, arrogant and boastful of his shooting skills. His eyes were filled with ambition. He had come here for one purpose, to hunt Croc-zilla and make a name for himself. Nonsense! Jack laughed loudly in the small general store when the locals warned him of the danger. It's just an old alligator you've imagined to be bigger than it is. I'll take its hide back to lay on my living room floor. Caleb, who was sitting in the corner smoking his pipe, slowly looked up from the fire in the hearth and fixed his unreadable gaze on Jack. This land does not welcome arrogance, young man, he said in a raspy voice. Some things are best left alone. The old man's warning only fueled Jack's bravado. The next day, he prepared his bow and rifle and headed out to 9 Mile Pond alone, ignoring everyone's pleas. Caleb watched Jack's boat slowly disappear into the morning mist. He took a long drag from his pipe and sighed. In his heart, he felt a certain foreboding creeping in, the same feeling he had the day he lost his brother, Ethan. Guided by an instinct honed over a lifetime, Caleb grabbed his trusty shotgun and paddled out in another canoe, quietly following. It wasn't to save Jack, but to be a witness to what was about to happen, and perhaps to finally confront his own past. When Caleb reached 9 Mile Pond, the atmosphere changed completely. The sound of cicadas and birds went silent, as if all life was holding its breath. The water before him was as still as a black mirror, reflecting the darkening sky. It was an oppressive silence, the calm before the storm. Then he saw Jack's boat adrift in the middle of the pond, but Jack was not in it. He strained his eyes and saw the young man's body scrambling on a small island in the middle of the water. One of his legs looked twisted and blood was seeping out. His rifle had been flung to the other side. "Help!" Jack's voice was a shaky whisper when he saw Caleb's canoe. It's under the water. It dragged me down." Caleb did not answer. He simply scanned the water carefully, and then he saw it. At first, it was just a massive dark shadow, larger than any he had ever seen beneath the surface. But then, it slowly rose to the surface. That wasn't an alligator. It was a living mountain. It was a legend breathing right in front of him. Its body was unbelievably wide. Each scale was a testament to centuries of battle, scarred and notched with untold stories. But what took Caleb's breath away were its eyes, the pair of amber eyes that stared back at him. It wasn't the look of a ravenous beast, but a look filled with timeless wisdom and immortality, as if it had witnessed the birth and death of countless stars. Croc-zilla. The legendary beast no longer paid any attention to the injured Jack. It stared at Caleb, as if its appearance was not for the arrogant young man, but for the old man who carried the memory of this water. In those eyes, Caleb saw the image of his brother Ethan, a young man who loved the water and believed that all life in the Everglades was kin. In that moment, Caleb understood everything. Croc-zilla was not a demon. It was a guardian, the balance of nature, a lesson the Everglades gave to man. Ethan was not cruelly slain. He had likely trespassed on some unspoken rule of the wilderness, and this was the consequence. Caleb slowly placed his shotgun down in the canoe. He did what no one had ever dared to do. He raised his hand in a gesture of respect to the king of the water. He no longer saw it as a beast to be eliminated, but as the master of the land where he was merely a resident. Croc-zilla stared at Caleb for another moment before its immense body slowly and silently sank back beneath the black surface as if it had never been there at all. It left behind only ripples that spread to the very edges of the pond. Caleb went to help Jack, pulling him into his canoe. The young man who had once been so arrogant was now trembling with fear and shock. "What was that?" he asked in a weak voice. "It's the Everglades," Caleb replied as he paddled back to shore. Jack left the next day. He returned to the big city and never spoke of hunting again. His story was another chapter added to the legend of Croc-zilla. As for Caleb, he continued to live there. He remained the last Gladesman who truly understood the spirit of the swamp. Every time he looked at 9 Mile Pond, he no longer felt a sense of loss, but rather a profound appreciation for the majesty, the mystery, and the balance of nature that humans should respect, not challenge. And the legend of Croc-zilla, the king of 9 Mile Pond, continued to be told. A reminder that in this land, something far more powerful and ancient than man resides, and it will be watching us from beneath that black water forever.